Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest, Mother and Dad. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, Pamela, and Patricia. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Parents, 1959, Part 118. Today's presentation is based on the first half of the original publication, Smallshaw Family Memories Collection, or SFMC number 4049, published on August 19, 2000. Letter from the editor of the SFMC, yours truly, Peter J. Ray. And here's some quotes I took from from the publication. Working in a partnership with God to make the world a better place is the purpose of life. Pam figures she's indispensable. John should run for U.S. Congress. All three children are in bed coughing at the same time. Patty even enlists Mark and John to dress her dollies. I think I'll leave the presidencies to John. He's the type. Well, Mom and Dad, I'm glad you're enjoying these latest SFMCs. I know I get a great deal of pleasure working on them. The story continues. It gets better as more characters are introduced and as the little children grow up. How interesting to get to know Mark and Pam and now Patty as little children. And of course, Mom and Dad, or Ruth and John, as they moved into their late 30s. Of course, these letters are period pieces, historical records of the life and times during the 1950s in American suburbs, as the U.S. economy continued to boom and the baby boom kept pace. Mark's line, "Do you want to play with my ducky?" is one for the ages. Take care, everybody. See you at Lakeside. All the very best, now and always. Peter J. Ray. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, August 10th, 1959. Dear Mother and Dad, we arrived home safely about 1 o'clock a.m. Friday. We had missed our connection in Toronto by about 10 minutes, so had to wait for the later plane. Editor's note: Ruth is referring to the family's trip to Saskatchewan to visit her parents. In Winnipeg, after a rough flight, they finally gave up on that plane we left on, and they switched us to a Viscount that managed to make up most of the time we'd lost, but just not enough. Transcontinental Airways said they'd pay our transportation to visit any friends in Toronto, but couldn't think of any, so settled on milkshakes. A woman with 3 children left them with me while she checked airplanes. So I surprised John with a new baby boy when he returned. Her little girl had money she was dying to spend, kept wanting to put it in the toilet locks, then proceeded to buy hot black coffee in the automat. It was too hot to handle, so she put it on the floor and then bought another cup, also too hot and black. The girl was about 8 years old. John said I should have sent her to the cigar counter. Since we've been back, I've been washing and ironing. We had our board meeting and barbecue Saturday night, 22 of us, including husbands. John went to the trustees' outing Thursday and Big Brother's outing Saturday. Mark had his French class this morning. We had mail about a foot high to go through. I have to work on the Christmas card orders for the Junior Nature and Science Museum. My sign is up on Wolf Road for the museum that I painted. We looked at a lovely home Sunday, which John really likes, but we wonder if it will be big enough. It's brick with radiant heating, a yard like a park with big trees, and lovely landscaping. 3 huge bedrooms upstairs, but only 3, and we'd like 4. It's $36,500, but worth it. We looked at a new split level, $46,500, but almost too ultra-modern, a kidney-shaped swimming pool, and 4 bedrooms. So guess we'll wait a while and see. We were glad we got out to see you, although it seemed as though we actually saw very little of you, and that was why we went. We do hope that you take care of yourself, and watch your nutrition better. We are what we eat. I've felt much better since I've added more vitamins. Since our return, some of our friends now want to go up to Lac La Ronge. Further, I guess. John enjoyed his Waskesiu venture too, and after the trip to Estevan, I certainly will be thinking about Pat. Pamela's hair looked so much better within hours of getting home and is nice and curly again. I really appreciate my washer and opportunity to stay out in the yard and hang and fold clothes amidst the tree and grass. The children had a puppet show and earned 7 cents. They hung their toy animals out the upstairs window and made them dance while the kiddies sat in the driveway and howled with laughter. They even had Patty sitting on a chair watching. Tonight we had chicken, and Mark asked about the wishbone. Don't wishes ever come true? John told him you had to work for them. After a pause, Mark asked, Do you suppose Walt Disney had to work to visit the king of the leprechauns? Apparently Mark's desire is to visit Ireland and the little people. He doesn't talk like Pam, but he does think. It was good to see Dad looking better, and hope you will get more rest and eat more too. Life's a lot more fun when you feel good. By the time we got on the plane to Cleveland, Patty was exhausted. She insisted on laying on the floor with her blanket, the one you gave her as a baby. We couldn't let her as it was dirty and unsafe, but that was her desire, to sleep. So by the time we got to Cleveland, she was higher than a kite, so excited. Take care of yourselves. It was good to see you. Thanks for the grandstand seats. We enjoyed it. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty. P.S. Thanks, too, for the car. So much. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, August 31st, 1959. Dear Mother and Dad, I hadn't realized until your letter this morning that it was a while since I'd written. I'm glad to hear you felt your Bible school worthwhile. I found it very exhausting, packing us all off and then coming home and trying to catch up with so much else going on. Sunday school starts on the 13th, and John and I are both teaching. The Sunday school teachers' meeting is the same night as the auxiliary board meeting, so we have to get a babysitter and arrange for a ride for John since I'll have the car for board meetings. I'm glad Doris likes the card table set. We've been busy, as I mentioned last time. A week ago Sunday, we went to Cedar Point, then Monday the music carnival. Tuesday I tutored and looked after Char's children, and she was in the hospital with a new baby. Wednesday was our wedding anniversary. Thanks for the nice card. We took the kiddies to Kittyland, and John took me to Stouffer's for dinner and Cinerama. Thursday went to the doctor, 4 shots. Friday had 3 couples here, and then to the Westwood Country Club dance. John was master of ceremonies. Saturday, John took Mark fishing with the neighbors, and Sunday was the auxiliary tea. They gave me a lovely corsage. I also went to a tea this past Sunday, both on the east side. John took Mark to the Cleveland Indians baseball game Saturday. Cleveland is blue about the latest series here, of course. The Indians lost all 4 games. Last week, Patty and I had a session of diarrhea, and we were on skim milk. Pam had an earache. Mark went to a swimming pool with neighbors and almost drowned. He jumped in the deep end. He was crying with an earache until 2:30 a.m. Thursday. Then Friday night he threw up all over his bed and blankets, and I was washing until 3 o'clock a.m. In church Sunday, the man behind us said we had the best behaved youngsters in church. I tutor tomorrow, board meeting Wednesday, and Thursday dinner meeting at Stouffer's, the Metropolitan Council JC Auxiliary Presidents. Friday, John has a golf outing at Beachmont Country Club, and then we hope to go to Lakeside, Ohio for 4 days, the Labor Day weekend. It will be our 10th consecutive year there. Mark goes back to school Wednesday, a full day, and takes his lunch, and Pam goes half day the following Monday. Have to get her dresses lined up. I ordered her a new blue shirtwaist today and matching one for Patty and for me. The sermons in church have been very good lately. I think your congregation would do well to adopt our 10 o'clock a.m. summer plan in place of 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock services. Just the golden rule, or just following the ethical rules, or even salvation alone or prayer alone are not enough, but working in a partnership with God to make the world a better place is the answer to the purpose of life. Not only that, but an unhappy Christian is not a Christian, for we have a duty to be happy. A true Christian is a happy person, and we must have a purpose in life. When we were going to church, Patty got her blanket, and when we got there, she spread it on the nursery floor and cried a little and then went to sleep. When it's on the line, she says, "Night, night," and holds one wet corner against her cheek and puts her finger in her mouth. It got so dirty on our trip, I had to wash it up in Waskasoo. She even spread it on the floor of the airplane. You bought them for her. There are 2 flannelette blankets. After supper tonight at the Lake Erie, John and Mark were playing frisbee, and the frisbee went into the lake. John went in almost to his hips to get it. We've had many good times here. Shar McQuilkin said her kiddies are still talking about going to the playground when they were here. Every day Mark and his friends play in the sand pile, digging ditches or playing knights. I took them to the movie Sleeping Beauty, or they play for African animals or cowboys, all in the sand pile with horses. The sand is the terrain. Pamela has a crowd of girls on the front steps playing dolls or doll clothes. She still enjoys the lace-up paper dolls. One day I suggested she take a nap. Why, all the girls would say, "Where's Pam? Where's Pam?" And then they'd all be at the door calling for me. "Where's Pam? Where's Pam?" She figures she's indispensable. Good night. Take care. Eat well. Sleep early. Be happy. Think new things. Change things. Think young. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty Ann. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, September 3rd, 1959. Dearest Mother, although it's 2 o'clock a.m., I feel that I had to write to you tonight. Tonight was our board meeting. It was over at 11 o'clock p.m., including coffee and dessert, but I went to another house to pick up a parcel for our foster child overseas, and then wrote my article for the JC Auxiliary Journal, a newsletter, and I have looked over the things for our child overseas. I am so proud to be president of a group that is so open-hearted. We have now, for the 3rd year, adopted a child overseas through the foster parent plan at a cost of $180 a year. They are supposed to provide her with necessities. She is a 9-year-old Polish girl with a tubercular father and much illness in her family. As I sit here, I see all the things we are to send her, and I do hope she receives them okay. A lovely navy coat, 3 beautiful dresses I would even like for Pam, skirts, sweaters, pajamas, underwear, toys, and food, all donated by the girls for a Christmas parcel. We have already this summer sent some to a boy here in a Cleveland hospital who is needy. I do hope that caring for your 2 grandchildren for 2.5 weeks won't be too much. I tried not to leave ours with John's mom until they were toilet trained, and then too she felt she couldn't for more than a few days at a time. Couldn't Doris's mother take one? I do hope it won't be too much for you. Our children were 2 and 4 years old when we went to New Zealand. Pam was toilet trained. Do take care of yourself and go to bed early. Could you have diaper service? Much love to you, and don't overdo it. I felt so guilty about asking John's mom that it's been 2 years since the cruise that we asked her to help us. Take care. God bless. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty. P.S. I wish I could help you. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, September 11th, 1959. Dear Mother, we saw the movie A Man Called Peter Saturday at Lakeside. It was wonderful. I do hope that this letter finds you well and that your babies, your grandchildren there aren't making it too strenuous for you. I hope you're trying to nap when they do. I'm going to bed early, eating properly, and not doing too much housework. We had a nice weekend at Lakeside, Ohio. Quieter without Harold's family and Dick and Joan. Joan had a baby boy, Michael Stewart, 8 pounds, 7 ounces Sunday. Joan had a very rough time. Dick watched the baby born and said the doctor had to sit on the floor to pull the baby out. The doctor said it was the hardest delivery he'd ever had. Joan will have to have cesarean sections in the future. It took an hour and a half to sew her up. Within 6 hours, the baby had trouble breathing and has since been in an oxygen tent and fed intravenously. He quivers all over about every 45 seconds. He did open his eyes and looked at Dick and me tonight for the first time. Monday, the doctor predicted he would die, and if he did not, he may have brain damage. Yesterday, they gave him a 50-50 chance. I requested prayers for him at church. Mark prayed that baby Michael Stewart gets better and have a happy life. He's a fine-looking boy. They drilled 2 holes in the top of his head to see if it was hemorrhaging, but found no bleeding. They suspect it's in the base of the brain at the back of the neck that controls the respiratory system. He's also had some paralysis on the right side. Poor wee fellow. The Duffs had their 5th boy, 6th child, no trouble, went on vacation when the baby was just a week or 2 old and took 3 of their children. Mark had the first day of school today and enjoyed it. He used his lunch box and thermos. God bless. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, September 17th, 1959. Dearest Mother, I have been wondering how you are with your babies. I'm sending you a little something for your morale. We've had Mark in bed with a cough for a week, very cold here, and so sudden. I have had the flu, throwing up and diarrhea, a real session, but I feel better now. Joan is home from the hospital. I canned 12 pints of peaches and sent one over and also a basket of fruit. We sent flowers to the hospital and visited her. I had the prayer group at church pray for baby Michael Stewart Ray. The doctors say he will live now. He opened both eyes for the first time when I was up to see him, that Dick knew about. They don't know about brain damage. His vocal cords are paralyzed but should get better. He's out of oxygen but on a respirator, takes half food through a tube and half from a bottle. We'll just have to pray for him. Tomorrow night is our JC auxiliary meeting, my first big one. Do rest. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, Pam, and Patty. Hi. Since Pam goes into the hospital next Sunday, I'm getting to think I'm going to be behind on Christmas. Both she and Patty have severe coughs, and we have Pam on an antibiotic, hoping we can get her well for her operation. They won't operate if she has any infection. I saw these discount prices on mixers, about $12 to $15, and wondered if you thought any worthwhile buying here and sending up. If you could find out what the duty would be there, I could get a mailing rate. It's probably cheaper to buy here, but let me know if you want me to do it here. The Duffs were here last night suggesting we plan a trip to Europe for the summer of 1961. Buy a car there and drive ourselves, the 4 of us. We talked about it last summer and have $175 in our European fund. Still no luck on the house hunting. Too fussy, I guess. Marion is out near Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, teaching high school in the country. Love, Ruth. P.S. There was a little girl in the doctor's office who had a mastoid. 3 cases recently, a real surprise to me. We bought the folks a card table and chairs, so I'd be happy to send you something similar or a money order if you find what you like up there. Love, Ruth. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, October 19th, 1959. Dearest Mother, thank you so much for the nice birthday gifts. I wore the lovely scarf today, and the gloves will be so nice for many occasions, particularly cherished since you make them yourself. We hope that you too have a nice birthday this year and are keeping well. Doris said Brian's shirt fit in her letter today, but so sorry you've had snow already. John mailed you 2 parcels today. The one from Sunny Acres is the tubercular hospital, where we put on bingo parties for the non-contagious patients. They had a tea for the volunteers Saturday and mentioned our JC Auxiliary bingo parties in the speech. Afterwards, we were introduced to the head doctor, so we feel our efforts are appreciated. The gift I bought for you was handmade by the patients. We've had a real ring-dang-do around here, busy with meetings. We got Mark back to school after 3 weeks of coughing. Then Pam and Patty got the cold, and we had Pam crying all night with an earache. We got her back to school Friday, and 10 minutes later, the school phoned me to come for Mark. He was crying with an earache and spent the weekend in bed. Now Pam's coughing again. John's folks were over for dinner yesterday. Came to see Dick and Joan's baby. And we have our movie projector now, so saw the Queen Elizabeth again, and us all at the beach and the airport in Regina. I would like you to see them. Maybe we can get a duplicate roll for you sometime. We have a lot going on, and we've been out every day or night. We will be out every day or night for the next week. The biggest job has turned out to be the Sunday school teaching. They have the Seabury series, which only suggests units and no definite stories, so you have to really find all your own material. I've been grateful for some of that box of materials you gave us. I did Jesus the Healer last week, and John will give Jesus and his disciples next. They really could be many lessons. Reverend Brown is leaving. He used to become the director of Christian education. Baby Michael has had diarrhea and cried a lot, but they think he's coming along okay now. Joan's mother has cancer of the cervix, and she's taking x-ray treatments. Great-Grandma Zook had a heart attack. Thanks again for the nice birthday gifts. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, November 13th, 1959, 2:00 a.m. Dear Mother and Dad, thank you so much for the nice gifts for the children. Patty is just wild over dolls, and I even could love this one. Pam said, "Where did she get that?" but was very cooperative and put a pretty dress on it for Patty. Mark has had croup since 11:00 p.m. Sunday, and it's still going strong. The doctor put him on a drug that night, and he's still on it. Pam also has bronchitis. Mark has put his printing set to use too, as you can see. Pam said the doll had hair like you used to have. Long, but now yours is short, but it's still red now, she said. John pledged $780 to church tonight for us. He's one of the captains. That seems like a lot to me. A fellow called John said that he was awakened in the night with the idea that John should run for U.S. Congress. This fellow arranged to have lunch with Bob Taft's campaign manager. They feel that world peace can be accomplished through world law, and that the United Nations should be strengthened, and that men in the U.S. Congress could do this. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pam, and Patty. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. You might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray at peterjray.com. So far, we've made 679 history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. There is a donate feature. You might consider making a donation so we can continue making these videos. If you live in Metro Manila, Philippines, and are looking for a high school, you might consider Res Celeste Educational Center. Res Celeste is located in Barangay Maytunas, San Juan, Metro Manila, on Allenby Street, not far from the corner of P. Guevara and Wilson Street. At Res Celeste, we specialize in helping young people who have had difficulty in the larger traditional high schools. It's more than a school, it's a warm, supportive community, and we strive to be creative and innovative. And the website is resceleste.education, RESALEST. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.